In this short video, we will take a look at some of the roles that people play in standards meetings and how standards creation can help your career. Let us start by taking a look at why you should consider standards creation as part of your career. It can be perceived as dry, focused on specs rather than practical implementation, comprising of lots of travel, and could be perceived as involving some tedious tasks, for example word processing, spec revision and editorial tasks. But in reality, you will develop a deep understanding of how technical and less technical decisions impact products. You will witness firsthand the transition from research to practice and learn what type of research stands a chance of standards adoption and therefore real-world deployment. You will develop a wide range of skills beyond the technical ones: negotiation, consensus building, advocacy, and understanding of real-world constraints. You'll also learn not to take work-related decisions too personally, a form of detachment that is useful in many areas of life. You'll be part of a small group of highly skilled individuals, contributing to work that is crucial to the rollout and widespread adoption of technologies at scale. There are many roles in creating standards. Perhaps the most important is the standards delegate. These are the people who attend the meetings. But we also have back office standards engineers, research engineers, standards managers, and officers in the standards development organisations. Delegates are appointed by their representative member organisations. They attend the meetings of individual committees or bodies. They present and defend proposals, hold online and offline discussions with other committee members, and push for a specific idea within the confines of a particular committee. They may on occasion be able to rely on back office support to help draft documents or perform simulations, or may need to carry some of this work out themselves. The role may involve long hours during and in the run-up to meetings, as well as juggling multiple responsibilities. The chair is often a seasoned standards delegate. They ensure an effective operation of the technical group in line with the ETSI directives and report to the OCG, board and the General Assembly on the activities of the technical group. They are impartial. They are representing the ETSI committee, not their supporting company. The vice chair supports the chair. They may replace the chair in certain circumstances. A rapporteur is a delegate who takes responsibility for a work item. They ensure a work item is delivered on time and respects the ETSI drafting rules, encourages active participation of the committee members, and edits the specification or report. They act as the prime contact person for the technical matters and for information on progress throughout the drafting phase. A back office standards engineer drafts standards documents and may perform simulations, which demonstrate the benefits of a particular solution or exposes certain issues with the current system. They may also need to file patents to protect the intellectual property developed. They also need to be well versed with the specifications and understand the release timeline, anticipate issues and understand the position of other companies. Finally, close links to the relevant product development organisations is also important. Research engineers look further ahead at new technologies such as AI, quantum, or towards the next G. They tend to be less constrained by the standards body's regulations, but more constrained than a researcher in academia. Compared to peers in academia, they are typically more aware of patents and related procedures. They are more likely to consult and publish academic papers than the standards delegate or back office standards engineer, but usually with a focus on specific product ideas or future standards. The standards manager manages a team working on standards, and it's a highly specialised job, requiring a deep understanding of the standardisation process and technical details. Not always the same deep level as the team, but across multiple working groups or committees. They need to be skilled at managing the distinctive mix of people who work in standards, and to recognise standards-related potential in candidates and deliver role-specific onboarding. Finally, they require an understanding of business aspects, including liaising with the business units. The officer in an SDO is perhaps the least technical but most specialised of the roles. They often require an engineering background but are not typically involved in the development of new technologies. Instead, they focus on the operational management of the technical committees, supporting the chair during the meeting, maintaining specifications, implementing agreed changes, producing new versions, and overseeing release timelines. It requires a high degree of IT knowledge and project management skills. So how do you go about becoming a standards engineer? A strong degree in electrical engineering or computer science is a good start. Advanced degrees help, but they are not a requirement, especially for the more engineering type of standards work. Typical employers are major industrial players alongside an increasing number of smaller companies and specialist SMEs. Some practical experience, maybe via internships, is highly valued. Standards-related work entails a high degree of real-life constraints, and as such may represent a challenge for someone fresh out of university. Understanding of the underlying trade-offs, giving up on the search for optimal solutions in favour of a pragmatic approach, awareness of various processes, and how they could be used to your advantage, rather than focusing only on technical know-how. Here are some of the skills to focus on that are not typically part of a university course. Knowledge of regulatory frameworks, negotiation skills, influence and advocacy, the difference between being right and doing the right thing, learning to choose your battles. Some wins erode relationships, so be mindful of that. Business impact of technical decisions, and a knowledge of intellectual property. The skills mix varies depending on the employer. Operators will often focus on use cases and business models, aiming to maximise their income, looking for new opportunities, and achieving reductions in cost. Terminal vendors will focus on minimising terminal complexity while extending battery life, improving performance, and possibly minimising the number of test cases. Network vendors will focus on tighter control of terminal behaviour, increased feedback from terminals, and greater operational flexibility. New entrants may have a specific technology which they would like to standardise to ensure wider adoption of their proprietary technology. There is usually no single best solution for a technical problem. The different participants in the standards process often have different goals. Overall, the success of each particular technology is a shared goal. Engineers like to focus on hard skills, which are conventionally perceived as demonstratable through practical tests, such as programming, advanced maths, circuit design, or data analysis. Acquisition and assessment of those skills is often short-term focused. Generative AI may replace some of those tasks at a fraction of the cost. People and management skills, that's working well in teams, exercising judgment, and building emotional intelligence and self-awareness, are often the hardest to replace. They develop over time and require an openness to feedback and a readiness to change. So here's a list of things to remember. Standards work gives you real insight into how technical decisions shape products. You may gain valuable skills in negotiation, consensus building, and advocacy. Many roles exist. Each contributes differently to the standardization process. People skills matter as much as technical expertise. Different stakeholders have different priorities. There's rarely a single best solution. Pragmatism and business awareness are essential for standards engineers. Soft skills are becoming even more important as AI handles the more technical tasks. So you can view more educational material on the ETSI website, along with useful guides and helpful information on the ETSI portal. I hope this has inspired you, and we'll see you soon at an ETSI Standards meeting. Thank you.